What's going on, everybody? It is Triple Crown 24 back with another mail day video. Today I've got just some lower end stuff to show off, but still some pretty cool vintage from the 60s and some stuff from the 2000s. All for the Tigers team set, the Cabrera collection, and then a few autographs as well for the Tigers collection, so hopefully you enjoy it. Let's go ahead and get into the cards for the Tigers team set. I bought a 500 card lot off of a seller on the internet who claimed that it was going to be a mix of vintage and new stuff from the 60s to the 2000s. I bought one of these before, it was many years ago, and there weren't too many 60s cards. It was mostly like, you know, late 80s, early 90s stuff, but thankfully this one actually had a pretty good mix with the 60s in there. There weren't any 70s stuff, which was kind of surprising to me, but there were a lot of 2000s, a lot of 90s stuff that I did not already have, so very thankful for that. But here are the 60s ones I was able to get. This is a Bill Bruton card from 64 Topps, my first one from the 64 set. Very simple design. I'm going to be pulling these out of the binder as I go along, so sorry if this is a little bit of a longer video. I'm going to try to go as quick as I can. 166 here. This is actually a duplicate, but this one's actually in a little bit better condition than the one I had before, Willie Horton. So one of these I'll probably send off for TTM since he does still sign through the mail. 66, not my favorite Topps design of the 60s, but very cool to own the originals on some of these. Quite a few 67s, and the 67s were awesome. So the first one is Joe Sparma. There was quite a few Joe Sparma cards. I think there was actually like 2 or 3 of this copy, or maybe it was a different design that there were multiples, but this seller must have been a Joe Sparma collector. This one is one that took me by surprise. I was thumbing through these and I was like, oh wow, that is not what I was expecting. But Al Kaline, most of these do have like rounded edges and stuff. You can see that there's, you know, they're not in mint condition, but it's to be expected. They're just fine for what I'm trying to do with the Tigers binder. So anytime you can get an Al Kaline, that is fine by me. Really excited about that card. This one's pretty nice too. Bill Freehand, one of the great Tigers catchers. Tigers have had a lot of good catchers over the years. Recently heard he was having health problems, so sending well wishes to him and his family. We have Earl Wilson. This one does have a major crease down the center. It doesn't show up too much on camera, which is the reason I'm going to use it for my set. Unless you're looking at it in person, like at the right angle, you can't really see the crease. But Earl Wilson, 67. This one is actually pretty big because they're very hard to find. If I can get it out of the binder page here. The 67 team card. Team card's very difficult to come across, especially ones that are in good condition. So anytime I can get one of those, I'm very thankful. So right off the bat with that one and the K-line, I was pretty happy. Then I saw this one and I was like, wow, this is a pretty good lot right here. Got a 68 Ed Matthews, aka Eddie Matthews. I'll show you the back of the card here. See, there he is with the Milwaukee Braves. Came to Detroit at the end of his career. Sorry for the camera bump. This one has some rounded corners on it, so I assume that's why it was thrown in here, just because it's a pretty big card from the 68 set. Among the Tigers players, at least, you know, comparing it to some of the commons from the set. This one's in a little bit better condition. Looks pretty sharp. I'm a fan of the 68 design, but it might be because the Tigers won the World Series that year, so it does have a little bit of a special place in my heart. Couple of 69 cards. We have Mickey Stanley here. Very integral part of the Tigers lineup at the time, as was this guy, Norm Cash. Probably his best known card is the one where he's pictured with K-Line, Mantle, and Barris. That is a card that I would love to add to my collection. I'll have to add it at some point for the Tigers set, but I'm also going to want to get a graded version one day. Got a Joe Sparma here. saw him a little bit earlier. And these are pretty sweet too. This is going to be the first page that I show off in the binder when I do the next update when I finish this portion of it. But here you have the Sporting News 68 World Series Special. I love these cards. This commemorates all 7 games of the World Series. This is probably not the one that I wanted to start off with just because the Tigers lost 10-1. We won't talk about that, but they overcame a 3-1 deficit to win the World Series. And the way my binder is set up is that I'm going to have the Denny McLain card, who Denny McLain was the hero and the MVP that year, so he will be in the top left corner. Then it'll be these 7 cards that follow it, and then it will be the Tigers championship card that is the last one on that page. So it's going to be a pretty cool page in the binder. I'm looking forward to completing that one. That will wrap up the 60s cards that I was able to get. And then I got 2 2008 tops that I did not have to add in. I have Dontrelle Willis right here. Part of the Cabrera deal did not really pan out too well. I was at the game where I can remember his career kind of, I would say it was the beginning of the end at that point, we'll put it that way. He only lasted 2/3 of an inning, and he never really regained his form after that. And then Jim Leyland. Funny story about this card, I actually got the same card signed at spring training in 2009, was following the Tigers around. And this guy had a ballpoint pen, and he asked if Leland would use his pen to sign other people's cards. So on a blue background like this, it's not going to work too well. So I have a card where Leland signs the back of it because this guy had to have his ballpoint pen used on other people's cards. I'll never understand that. But maybe one day I'll send another one of these off to get it signed on the front. But Leland, the longtime manager of the Tigers, led them to 2 World Series. There's also one 2010 card in there that I did not have. If I can locate it here. I'm sure I have one of these somewhere, but I don't know where I put it. That'd be the Scott Sizemore rookie card. So, happy to add that in as well. And a couple of Cabrera cards I was able to pick up from my Cabrera collection. I got these 10. A little bit of a lot off of Twitter. So here's this Topps Ticket to Stardom card. I don't know what year this is from. This is 2009. I didn't do too many 2009 Topps, that's probably why. Here's a Stadium Club. This is a pretty cool shot. Mid-swing there. Baseball Heroes, very cool set. This is from 2008 or 2009, I believe. 2008. Yep. Nice Upper Deck card. Miss Upper Deck Baseball greatly. The Motor City Mashers card, I picked this up for the Tigers team set with the 2016 set, but I needed another version for the Cabrera collection. Here's a Derek Jeter Says little insert card. I love these. I think they're pretty cool. Triple Play, kind of a low-end product, but I needed this one, so there it is. 2011 Heritage. I had the refractor version of this. That's numbered to 562, but I needed the base one, of course, based off of the 62 design. This UDX base, I believe this is 2008, 2009. It's 2008. And then this one was part of the lot, but I actually needed it for the team set. It's the only 2016 card I was missing because it's the league leaders. Those aren't usually included when I buy the full team set off of eBay, so there you have it. And a few autographs as well. And as I put this up, I'll have my stats pop up here that will show you my Tigers breakdown. So it should have right over here, the overall percentages, and then the percentages broken down by each individual decade for how far I am. So here are the autographs while I show that off. This is a Donruss Studio Craig Monroe. It's got the picture of the Detroit skyline in the background. Pretty cool looking card. Old Donruss card, very famous for the big foil looking stamps here, or foil looking stickers, excuse me, with the stamp on it to authenticate the signature. Very sharp looking card. Monroe, part of the 06 team. I got 2 of these Upper Deck Pastime signatures of members of the 68 World Series team. Here we have Bill Freehan, who I mentioned earlier on. These are really cool looking cards. I have a graded version of this one, but in all honesty, it's not that good of a grade. I don't know why I have it, to be honest. But it looks pretty good here, the raw version. I kind of prefer this one a little bit more. And then, of course, Mr. Willie Horton, guy who I'm trying to add a little bit more of in 2018, just because he was so good during the 60s and into the 70s when the Tigers were not very good. Horton was kind of the bat that kind of kept the lineup together in the post-K-line era before they started to rebuild towards that 84 team with Trammell, Lou Whitaker, Jack Morris, Kirk Gibson, all the guys who we know today. So very cool. That will conclude my autograph pickups for today, and my card pickups as well. So hopefully you enjoyed today's video. As always, let me know what you think down below. If you enjoyed it, like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. Thanks everyone for your support and watching today's video, especially if you stayed till the end. Till next time, have a good one.